Welcome. This is a yin yoga class to help you find space in the midst of a busy day, a busy work week, and to find a moment to get into the body and into the postures. So please take a moment to find your space and come into a comfortable seat. You can either do cross-legged, you can do soles of the feet together, whatever is comfortable for you. And come to the edge of the blanket, or if you're in a chair, come to the edge of the chair and allow your pelvis to tilt slightly forward. This will allow the spine to stack so the back is straight. So it's like a string is pulling the top of the head to the ceiling. So come into this space, just find your breath. Oftentimes during the workday, it's easy to get caught up in what we're doing, and sometimes the breath can get caught in the chest. So start to notice where your breath is. It's fine if it's in the chest. Just feel where that breath is as you're inhaling. And as you're exhaling, feel the air release through the mouth. And as we start to notice our breath, you can come into a deeper breath, maybe noticing if it expands into the belly. And the belly can expand like a balloon. You might even place your hand over your belly so you can feel the air as it expands. And as you exhale, releasing through the mouth. Kind of like you're blowing candles out on a birthday cake. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, blowing out candles on your birthday cake. Take a few breaths at your own pace. You might even close the eyes and start to notice the thoughts. You're thinking about what you're working on, thinking about planning the rest of your day, or maybe the week. That's okay. Just allow those thoughts to gently pass. Noticing them without becoming attached, without following the storyline. And gently open the eyes. Take the arms up as you inhale, up over the head. And exhale the hands down. Now we'll gently come into some pranayama. And a pranayama is just the breath of life that flows through our body. And we hold a lot of energy in our body. We hold a lot of our emotions, our feelings and thoughts. So to gently release some of those thoughts that you might be holding on to, many energies, let's just take our arms and we're just going to throw it out with the breath. So just flinging it like you're just flinging a piece of trash. Inhale and just start to throw it out. Throw out that energy, things that you're holding on to, you just want to let go of. Releasing with the breath, continuing to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, just throwing out that energy, releasing it into the floor below. Maybe like you've gotten some jelly or something stuck to your hand and you just want to get it off. Good. Just breathing and releasing. And exhale, release through the legs, through the spine, sitting back in your seat, coming back to your breath if you've lost it. And breathe. Now we'll gently take our arms into the air for some shoulder breaths. This motion will help us bring into our bodies the energy that we want to receive. So start to make your intention for the class. What kind of energy do you want to receive? What kind of presence do you want to bring? We'll just bring that into the body. Inhale and breathe. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Breathing, don't lose the breath. Receiving that energy from above, from around, wherever you want to draw your energy from, bringing it into the body. And release, bringing the arms back down to the legs. Feel the energy surging through the shoulders, through the neck, through the body. You can even rock your body to allow that energy to flow. One of the other benefits of yin yoga is that after doing a posture, we start to feel this energy flowing through all of our body, often in some traditions called the chi energy. Just flowing through the body and releasing things that we're holding on to. So allow that energy to be there, coming back to your breath. Closing the eyes, seeing how you feel today in this moment. Gently flutter the eyes open. And the first posture we'll come into is a butterfly pose. So take the soles of the feet together. And if this is uncomfortable, you can have bolsters or towels for the knees. I'm going to try to find something to be able to come into this pose for about 4 minutes. So you might take your blocks and just allow the knees to relax. You can use books, pillows, whatever's there. And start to inhale. And as you exhale, you can start to fold over the feet. So bringing the torso over the legs. And it's fine if you want to round the back a little here, as long as there's no pressure on the low back. Try not to force anything. The goal in yin is not to expand into some stretchy, flexy pose, but rather just to allow gravity to do the work for you. And here in this pose, the head will become pretty heavy as you start to sink into it. So you can also take a bolster or a pillow, or maybe make a little tower out of your blocks to rest the head on. So pressing the forehead onto a pillow, wherever you want to make a tower, have a little base, and you can stack your blocks or books. And just gently start to fold forward and allow the head to just rest on the block. Here you can even give yourself a little forehead massage by rocking it on your bolster or your block, just for a side view. Remembering to just allow the body to come into the pose without forcing it. And you may be able to adjust as you move deeper into the pose, maybe taking your tower down a little bit as you sink a little deeper. Moving toward where you feel the sensation. So it could be in the hips, it could be in the groin area, it could be in the hamstrings. Moving toward that sensation. Finding a little bit of tension and discomfort is okay, but if you start to feel any pain or tingling, just backing off a little bit. Adjusting and using your breath as you sink a little bit deeper. To come out of this pose, start to press your hands into the floor to gently come back up to neutral. The neutral spine, that string coming out of the top of your head. And now we'll come into the juicy part of yin, which is the rebound pose. After each long held pose, we'll just release some of the energy to feel the chi coursing through the body. So here, just take your legs back and forth with your knees bent, kind of like a windshield wiper movement. And this can open up the low back. And breathe, feeling any changes in your body and your position, maybe lengthening in the legs. The next pose will be a half butterfly or straddle. So bring the right foot in towards the left thigh. And you'll take the left leg out straight. And you can point the toes up to the sky. And it doesn't matter if the leg is a little closer to the front. This is fine if there's limited extension here. We're using the adductors to get the hips out. So wherever is comfortable, again, remembering we'll be holding this for about 4 minutes. So find your position. You can use, if the knees are tight, you can use a pillow under the knees to just rest. Breathe in through the nose and exhale. You can start to fold forward over the front leg, which will be a little bit more of an extension in the low back, or you can fold more over the extended leg, which will create more of tension in the side body, as well as maybe the hips or the piriformis on the outer side of the left leg. And again, if you want to find something to rest the head, you can use a bolster or some blocks and rebuild your tower. Just allowing The head to drop, allowing gravity to take it. Noticing where you feel the sensation. And again, adjusting when you feel the body is ready to sink a little deeper. Noticing what the mind does here too. When we're holding long postures, sometimes we might be thinking, well, when is this going to be over? When am I going to be done? Or what am I doing next? Notice where the mind takes you and just allow it to be where it is. Maybe coming back to the breath, allowing the thoughts to pass without becoming attached. Moving deeper into that sensation. Sometimes this can release some deeper connective tissues where we're holding some energy that we might not have been thinking about for a while. So just allow it to release and be where it is. And again, to come out of the pose, just gently press the hands into the floor. Slowly coming back up. Taking a breath here. Feel the energy coursing through the body. Any changes in the side body and the legs. Breathing with those changes. And gently coming over to the other side. We'll bring the left leg back in towards the right thigh. And then take the right leg out. Maybe putting a pillow under the knee. Just find the area that's comfortable for your thigh. So every body is going to be different. So depending on where you are today, it might be different than yesterday as well. So just be okay with where you are. If the foot starts to tilt forward a little, that means that the leg might be out a little too wide and you can bring it back in. So bring it to where it's comfortable and you can hold for another 4 minutes. Gently breathing through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And either folding forward over the front leg or taking your tower, moving over to the side to open up in the side body. Just gently folding over to where you are comfortable and can start feeling the sensation. Feel free to adjust anything that starts to feel a little tingly or need to back off, or if you need some more support, make sure to have some pillows and extra blankets to help you out. And adjusting as the body starts to sink more into the pose, as the connective tissues start releasing and sink a little bit deeper, moving your block to where you want to rest your head. And again, if the mind wanders here, which it always does, so don't be worried. Just don't follow the story. Just watch it pass and slowly come back to your breath, thinking a little deeper if it's there for you today. And slowly pressing the hands in the floor to gently come back up to neutral. And gently feeling the energy coursing through the body here. Any changes in the forehead and in the legs and the hips. Be present with those changes. Coming to your breath if you've lost it. Now gently taking both legs out into a straddle. So the toes pointing up. Again, if the toes start to point forward a little bit, that might mean that the legs are out too far, so you can bring them back in. You might take your tower in front of you and just gently stack the blocks for a place to rest your head. And we'll just be here for a couple minutes. Moving towards where you feel the sensation. Just gently press your hands on the floor to come up. This is one of my favorite postures to do while working too. If you don't have a lot of time in the day, and if you need to, you can certainly put a laptop right here and type away. But I do recommend, if you do have the time, just taking this space for yourself to really dig in deep into the body and into some of the connective tissues. So moving into our rebound pose, we'll come onto our backs. So you can bring the feet out the length of your mat or the floor in front of you, and slowly round the spine as you come down to the mat, one vertebra at a time. And just allow the body to relax here. Feeling the energy that's changed from the last pose, the chi coming through the body. Start to feel changes in the back. Also notice if the thoughts have settled or if you've gone into a thought loop. Just allow that to be what it is. Gently bringing your attention back to your breath and back to your center. This space is for you, and it's an opportunity to reclaim your time, reclaim your moment, to be yourself, to be who you truly are. Breathing in the energy that you feel. And to come out of your rebound, just roll over onto one side and press a hand in the floor. Come back up. Our next posture will be a swan posture. So taking the right foot in front of you, the right leg, and then take the left foot behind you. You can press the top of the foot down onto the mat or to a towel. And the front foot will be either parallel if this isn't too much pressure, or if that is too much pressure on the hips or you can't bring your hips to neutral, start to bring the foot in just a little bit. Try to keep the front foot flexed. You can rock over onto this hip. If you feel a lot of space here, you can use a pillow or a bolster to minimize that space. Because again, in yin, we want to focus on where we're feeling the sensation and the gravity that's pulling us into the pose, as opposed to trying to force into a position. So if this is too much, you can also do this posture on your back by taking a figure 4 position. So taking your right ankle over your left leg and lying on your back, gently drawing the legs in towards the chest. Finding the position that will suit you today so that you can hold the posture for another 4 minutes. You can also bend the back leg in if this is more comfortable for you. Having a blanket or a bolster, again, to fill any spaces. You can just stay here, hang out. Or if you want to deepen and feel more sensation in the hips, you might start to fold forward over the front leg. And again, you can have your blocks, your little tower to rest the heavy head. Noticing again where the mind takes you. As you start to sink deeper into the tissues, it might take you to places that you're not expecting. Just gently allow the thoughts and feelings to be what they are without getting carried away with the story. Continuing to adjust as you need to deepen into the sensation and find the areas that you want to stretch or connect with. Slowly press the hands into the floor to come back up to a comfortable seat. And here we'll take a short rebound into child's pose. So coming to tabletop, take the knees out, maybe the width of the mat, and bring the big toes together. Sit your hips back down onto your heels and reach the hands out in front of you. You can rest the head on the floor, or maybe taking your hands and just resting your head in your hands. Gently coming back up and coming back to your seat. We'll go to the other side, taking your left leg this time, either parallel with the other side of the mat or bringing the foot in if this is too much pressure on the hips or the knees. You can take the back leg straight with pressing the top of the foot down, or if that's not comfortable, maybe bending the leg in. Or if neither of those work, sitting or lying on your back with your left ankle over your right thigh, bringing that leg in. So taking a moment to find the posture that works for you. using any blankets or bolsters or pillows to fill in spaces to make it a little bit more comfortable to hold. Maybe taking your tower. Gently folding over the front leg. Notice if this side is a little bit different than the other. Every different muscle is going to feel a little bit differently depending on the day. So just find where you are today and move into that sensation. Making any adjustments as necessary to feel the sensation and the stretch in the hips, in the low back, maybe in the top of the back leg. Start to feel if you're holding on to anything as well, and try to relax the muscles. The goal with yin, again, is to get more into the connective tissues and in the joints. So the first thing we usually feel is the muscles and the tightness in the muscles. So getting past that and allowing the muscles to release can help you find more connection with some of those deeper connective tissues. And slowly start to press the hands into the floor. Come back up to your sitting. Gently moving again to tabletop. Taking the knees wide and the big toes together. Sit the hips back. Reach the arms forward. Coming into your child's pose. Feel the energy coming through the body. And just relax. Gently coming back up. From here, we'll move into Sphinx pose. So take the legs behind you and start to come down onto the forearms. Now, if this is too much on the low back, you can put a blanket under the hips, or you can take a block or a pillow or bolster under the hips. Just rest the low back and bringing the upper body over onto the forearms. Finding the position that's comfortable for you that you can hold and rest. And here again, the head is what's heavy. So you might take your hands and just rest your head in your hands. Or you can take your tower for a gentle rest. Moving towards where you feel the sensation here. So opening in the chest, maybe the neck or the jaw, and maybe in the low back. So you might get a little bit more extension in the low back by removing any pillows or bolsters and pressing into the forearms. You can make your tower a little taller if you do so to rest the head. Remembering to breathe if you've lost the regularity of the breath, coming back into it. Just moving into where you find and feel the sensation. There may be a little compression in the low back that keeps you from going any further. That's certainly fine. Just find where you feel the sensation and the opening and the deepening into the connective tissues. Slowly coming down for a quick rebound onto your stomach. So feeling the energy coursing through both sides of the body here. Maybe the back and maybe the front of the legs, maybe the front of the body. Just gently breathing into that energy. Gently coming back up to hands and knees. We'll move to a more yang posture, just to lift up some of the energy and open up the heart. So coming into camel, come onto the knees. I know this is a little hard on the knees. You can have a blanket for more comfort. Coming up and bringing the hips right over the knees. Bringing the feet right behind you. You can pop up onto the toes. And start to put your hands where your back pockets might be. Keeping the hips over the knees at all times. And roll the shoulders back to open up in the chest. You might even lift your chin up to open up in the neck and in the jaw. You can even make a few faces here if you like to open up the energy in the face and the jaw. This can also open up the throat chakra, which opens up your voice and your personal expression. Coming into your body and into yourself. And if there's not too much tightness in the low back and you're not experiencing any pain, you can start to reach the arms back, maybe even touching the heels. This can allow you to press the chest a little higher up towards the ceiling or the sky. Breathing to maintain balance and stillness of mind. To come out of this posture, press your hands on your waist first to come up to neutral, gently bringing the big toes together. This time you can bring the knees a little bit closer into a closed child's pose. So you can bring the arms by the legs, rest the head on the floor or a block or a pillow. Allowing the low spine to release here, acknowledging any energy that's passed. Notice here too, if the heart is beating faster, since we did a yang pose, as opposed to some of the yin postures where the heart may slow down. Gently press the hands into the floor, come back up to neutral. We'll take one more pose. Coming back onto your blankets, your folded blanket or bolster. We'll take a half shoelace. So extend the left leg out in front of you. And you can bring the right ankle over the top, maybe pressing the foot on the floor. And you can stay here if this is fine for you. You might take a little bolster to rest the top leg. Gently find the sweet spot that works for you. So from here, to feel into the sensation, you can start to bow over the front legs. Maybe resting your hand on the pillow. Maybe you can build another tower here. If you want to rest your head, I'm just going to stay here. If the hamstrings are tight, you can also place a bolster under the knees for more comfort. Just gently allowing the body to fold. Taking your time to allow gravity to do the work here. Maybe you can rest your head in your hands. Or to feel the sensations as you deepen into the pose. What's releasing? What do you feel in the legs? What do you feel in the back? Maybe the hips. You start to feel any pressure or any tingling or pain start to back off. Gently walk the hands back up to neutral. Take the legs out, shake them out. And we'll do the other side. Taking the left ankle over the right leg, maybe all the way over to the other side. Might put the bolster between the knees to allow it to relax, or maybe under the front knee. If there's any pain or any tension, trying to find an adjustment so that you can relax into the posture. And if it's available to you, just start to gently fold over the front leg. You can take a bolster to rest your head. Find a spot where you can hold and breathe. Gently releasing, start to walk the hands back up to neutral. Take the legs out, shake them out. Get your body ready for your final Shavasana, the dessert or the icing on the cake. So come in here and find your space where you can lay down and relax. You might even take a blanket so that you can be comfortable and warm. And maybe even a bolster under the knees if the knees are tight. Find the spot that will work for you. And slowly curl the spine, coming down to the floor or the mat, one vertebra at a time. Allowing the palms to face up, allowing the feet to come out, allowing the body to fall into the mat, releasing all of the energy that you've built up, that you've gathered from this practice, maybe from the day. I read an excellent quote this morning about the things that we desire and want to manifest in our lives being the icing on the cake, because the cake is yourself, is you. You are everything that you are intended to be here in this universe. And those things that we desire are just extra. They're the icing on our beauty and on our joy and on our space in the universe. Slowly coming into your breath, allowing the changes and things and thoughts and sounds around you to help deepen into your own practice, into your own body, into your center. You can stay here as long as you like. And when you start to awaken, you can start to move the fingers and toes. Try not to move too quickly. Allow the body to feel the energy with each movement. And take this practice with you for the rest of your day. Make sure to drink lots of water. As we open up some of those deeper connective tissues, sometimes we can get a little dehydrated. So it's important to replenish them with lots of water. And I invite you to subscribe to the Abunditude channel, where I will repost this video and others like it. And I thank you for allowing me to guide you in your practice today. Namaste. With much love.